Hello, this is Marnie Smith, Assistant Director of Graduate Career Services at the Marxe School. Welcome to our video cover letter writing workshop. So let's dive right in and talk about what a cover letter is. In a nutshell, a cover letter is a one-page marketing document, usually 3 to 5 paragraphs, that should demonstrate to an employer that your skills, strengths, and interests make you a good match for the position you're applying for. In addition, the cover letter serves as a writing sample for the employer, so it should be well written, positive, and professional. Your cover letter should convey what you can do for the employer rather than what they can do for you. Remember, you are selling yourself in this cover letter. It's important to tailor the content of the cover letter based on each job that you apply for. In other words, you can't use a general template to apply for different jobs. If you are applying for a policy job, you need to write a cover letter about your interest and experience doing policy work. Let the job description be your guide. Let's talk about some common mistakes people make when crafting a cover letter. First, you always want to proofread your cover letter before you send it. There cannot be any typos, spelling mistakes, or grammatical errors, and all the punctuation needs to be consistent. You also want to make sure you limit the content to 1 page, and that everything in the letter is honest and accurate. Don't include any personal information, including photos, marital status, height, weight, etc. In terms of the format and addressing the letter, you want to address the letter to the specific person who has the capacity to hire you. Sometimes in a job description, it tells you who the role reports to. If you don't know the name of that person, do some research online and find out the correct name and spelling of that person. If the job description doesn't indicate who the role reports to, you can take an educated guess. If you're applying for a program associate role, look up the name of the program director and address it to him or her. If you can't figure out who the hiring manager is, or you're not 100% sure, you can always address the letter to Dear Hiring Manager. In terms of the format, you want to make sure the margins of the text are not too small. I've included some nice font choices, but you are not limited to these. The bottom line is to make sure the letter looks professional and readable. Now, before you start writing the cover letter, you want to do 3 things. First, research the employer. Learn enough about the organization that you can articulate why you're a strong fit for the role and why you want to work there. Review the company website, Google them, read everything you can find on the organization. Second, study the job description. Look for the skills, duties, and qualifications in the job so you can design your cover letter to prove you match them as much as possible. Last, you want to analyze your own background. Ask yourself what you've done that is similar to the duties required in the job, including work experience, internships, and volunteering. Here's an example of a finished cover letter. Let's get into each paragraph and really break it down. So for the first paragraph, you want to indicate the job you're applying for and where you heard about it, and include a few lines of background on yourself. You always want to explain why you're interested in this specific position, along with why you're interested in this specific organization. For paragraphs 2 to 4, look at the requirements in the job description. Choose the ones that you meet, and it should be most of them, and discuss how you fulfill them. Provide extra information about specific things you've done in the past that relate to what the job entails, proving your experience and expertise. And ideally, you'll provide at least 1 relevant accomplishment per paragraph. Creating a chart like this one will help you make sure your content is directly relevant to the job description. You can see that this second paragraph is directly related to the job description. In the slide before, a public policy interest and government interest was mentioned, as well as quantitative and analytical skills. And for the third paragraph, again, we want to see that direct connection between the job description and the content of the cover letter. The job description is asking for the ability to succeed in a high-pressure environment and for someone who can communicate with staff at all levels. The cover letter describes doing just that. And here is the finished version of the third paragraph. We're going to use the same strategy in the fourth paragraph. The job description mentions spreadsheet preparation, and so does the cover letter. In addition, the candidate is including numbers to show the scope of their work, as well as successful outcomes. Here's the finished version of the fourth paragraph. And going back to the numbers idea, anywhere that you can quantify and explain the value you added to your organization will be very impressive to the person reading your cover letter. Your final paragraph is a standard closing. You want to refer the employer to your resume, which you'll attach. State that you would like the opportunity to interview or discuss employment opportunities. State that you can be reached via email or phone, and make sure you include your email address and phone number. And then you always want to thank the employer for his or her consideration. And many thanks to you for watching this video. Be sure to check out some cover letter samples on the Marxe Career Resources page, and you can always let us know if you have questions. Thanks again.